He's crazy like Jack Bauer. His name is Forest Power. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, YouTube. Everybody loves a bit of alliteration, from people that make adverts to people that put signs up around your town. And Lord knows, I do as an English teacher as well. Today, guys, we are going to be talking about BadBoy Beaman and whether or not he is a necessary evil for the Call of Duty Warzone community. As a high school English teacher, alliteration is one of my favourite techniques within the toolbox. But in BadBoy Beaman's case, there's something about a plosive B sound that really screams aggression, violence and chaos. And ironically, it's the chaos that Triple B has attached himself to in the Call of Duty community by calling out major high profile streamers for potentially cheating. So for those of you that aren't in the know and have been living under a rock for the last couple of months, this guy from Liverpool, BadBoy Beaman, has become now infamous for calling out streamers for using things like wall hacks, aimbots and all other manner of cheating devices. Now, negativity, guys, really has never been my thing. In fact, I try to stay away from it as much as possible, but human beings love a bit of negative press, and if you look at the actual research, human beings are far more inclined to click on a video that's got to do with something negative rather than something positive, which is actually quite a damning critique of human nature itself. And so, from some dark corner of Liverpool, England, BadBoy Beaman has emerged with a snarling Scouse accent to flip the Warzone community on its head and accuse some of the most famous streamers in the world of cheating. We're talking about the likes of Aiden, we're talking about the likes of Mutex. It's interesting though, guys, because at first there was some resistance to videos like this. Streamers are effectively the pop stars of the world that we live in 2021, and no one likes to see their favourite pop star savaged. Fanboys of the modern world literally spend all day watching their heroes build up kill streaks on Twitch and other platforms, and so therefore when someone turns round and says that your hero, this idyllic figure that you built up for months or even years, is actually a fraud, a lot of people can get pretty defensive. But the tide is turning on this guy. One of his most recent threads was the idea that J-God, the people's appointed saviour of the Warzone community, had no reason to defend a seemingly indefensible clip of Aiden using a permanent UAV. And essentially Aiden had made a video saying that he had received a permanent UAV and it was nothing more than a glitch. J-God seemed to back this story up, but the Twitter sphere soon came to the realisation that J-God's article that he posted to kind of corroborate Aiden's story was falsified in terms of the date that was attached to it. Now, I actually thought that BadBoy Beaman would get a barrage of abuse for taking on the Emperor of Warzone in J-God, but he didn't. Twitter actually turned on J-God, something I never thought I would see happen. Here's the thing though, the guys at the top of the streaming world want to keep the status quo. They want the big dogs to remain the big dogs, and that's why there's a lot of back scratching that goes on within the Warzone community. I mean, let's face it, how many times have you seen a big celebrity YouTuber or Twitch platform user name drop somebody else? It's essentially a form of back scratching, collaboration, and it helps keep the big guys big out there. If a high profile cheater did actually get outed for cheating, the witch hunt would follow for everyone. And that's what the top guys making all the money do not want to happen. If it transpires that at some point in your YouTube career that you have actually helped promote a cheater, the YouTube community and the Twitch community will look at you as kind of complicit by default. And all of these top streamers want to avoid that thread and want to avoid being tarred with the same brush. So it's within their interest to essentially keep quiet about any shady business that goes on within the Warzone community. Now, I did mention this idea of there potentially being a massive witch hunt that would follow if some of these top streamers were outed for cheating. And actually, some people may say that it's already started. If you cast your eye over the comment sections of YouTube videos or Twitter comments, never before have there been more comments being skeptical about top streamers using wall hacks and aimbots. And unfortunately, this is a reflection of how people actually feel about Call of Duty Warzone itself. We know that we live in a world of liars and cheaters, and Warzone certainly does not save us from those truths. People have existed for thousands of years on this planet, and if history has taught us one thing, it's that another fellow human being will go to extreme lengths to screw somebody else over if it helps them further themselves in life. And Warzone's no different from that, Twitch is no different from that, and certainly YouTube is no different from that too. When you look at the content of the Warzone community though on YouTube, it's almost become a bit of an arms race. How many times have you seen a thumbnail with an angry faced Aiden with a ridiculous number of kills next to his name? These top streamers are continually chasing major kill numbers in the hope of dropping that world record gameplay. It's big business, and because it's big business, people are prepared to take, let's say, performance enhancers to get the views and make the big money. BadBoy Beaman has potentially shone a light on how unethical the world actually is, and maybe people are uncomfortable with it because, let's face it, sometimes it feels like it's an unsettling reflection of what human beings are actually like. And you've got to consider, if you were in the same shoes as some of these top streamers, would you cheat to get those views, to make it in life, to buy that big mansion at the end of the road? Now, I don't want to come across as someone that's wearing a tinfoil hat too much, and I'm not saying that I think all of the top streamers are cheating, but I like to listen to what this guy has to say with an open mind, because I know what human beings are like. The methodical way in which he breaks down clips and tests things from different angles is what really gives this guy credibility. He comes at it in a very cold way, and I think that if the guy had actually kind of gone on a massive rant and been really kind of aggressive and shouty and ranty about some of these top streamers, it would have taken away from the credibility that he's actually bagged within the community. And I actually respect the fact that this guy comes across as someone that treats kind of exposing cheaters as if it were a science project. And it's actually a breath of fresh air and the complete opposite of what you usually get from most screamers who spend their time yelling, going crazy, freaking out, because it makes for better entertainment. A lot of these people act in a completely exaggerated way in order to boost their viewing numbers. But I don't always agree with what BadBoy Beaman has to say, but what I will do is always defend his right to ask questions. I think that that's something that humanity should embrace. We should always pose questions in life. Life is about being open-minded and keeping ourselves apprised of any possibilities that could exist in the world. And knowing what human beings are like, there is a very, very good chance that some of these top streamers are in fact cheating. We know that some people out there are cheating, that's been proved by facts, and yet some of these guys are continually dropping gameplays with kill numbers that actually exceed that of proven cheaters. You've got to ask questions. I'm extremely interested to know what you guys think about this. I'm extremely interested to know what the rest of the Warzone community thinks of the presence of BadBoy Beaman. Is he a necessary evil that we need in the community, or is he just someone that you kind of discount and think he's doing this for the views and the money himself alone? What do you think, guys? Leave me a comment below, please, giving me your thoughts on the situation. If you have made it this far through the video, please feel free to drop a like, as that helps me out immensely. Make sure you comment though, because that's what I'm interested in more than anything else. A bit of engagement with this topic. So, are streamers cheaters? Is BadBoy Beaman a good presence or a negative influence on the Warzone community? Let me know down below. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Forest Power, and this has definitely been emotional.